What's your name? It's Daniel is your name,
Daniel,
right?
but everyone, that's my government. Everyone calls me OlanTekkers.
Olan. All right, Olan, welcome to the podcast.
I'm happy to be here.
It takes a sip.
Yeah, is the sound good? What's the sound saying? Good?
Yeah, it sounds good.
All
Yeah,
right,
just speak as closely as you can.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for this. We've been trying to organise this for a while, but you've been pretty busy with everything.
Yeah.
Been flat out. Got the studio now.
It's nice. I like it, man. Good setup, man.
Sandstone Studios, we call it. So this episode, as I mentioned, I got no idea where we're going to go.
Oh, yeah.
You're a full-time content creator now, ex-footballer, from the UK, got lots going on. Yeah. I always start with one question, and it usually just goes in from there.
Let's go, baby.
And that's just, what did you do after high school?
What did I do after high school? So when I finished secondary school, I actually went to America and had a contract over there to play football at a professional level, and then ended up going to the university route as well. So I went over there for about, I want to say 5 to 6 years. Great experience. Amazing place. And then I just, like I said, I've always been in and around football. Went in the football route, played over in America for like 1 or 2 years professionally. Then I came back over to Europe, played in Holland, played in Italy, and then went to England. And then a couple of years later, decided to come to Australia, and here we are.
Yeah, nice.
that's been the route, yeah.
You weren't studying at uni, you were playing football.
Yeah, so I did actually do the studying route. I actually have a degree in psychology, which a lot of people don't know about, So educated as well, So I loved it, It allowed me to dive into how my mind is. And I think it really helps me today in terms of my mindset and how I can affect others, because I know how others think. So I also have my coaching business. So I kind of use that aspect for younger kids that I coach and how to motivate them and get the best out of them.
Yeah, nice. And so you went over there. When you were making that decision, did you just know you want to be a footballer?
Yeah, but if you're in the UK, everyone wants to be a footballer.
I was about to say, but isn't that what everyone...
Yeah.
It's like I grew up in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be an All Black. Everyone wants to be a rugby player.
Yeah.
That's just it.
And that's the thing. Like, I always think, like, when I think back to it, I'm like, bro, why did I choose football? If I'd chosen another sport, I probably would have been a millionaire. I might have been one of the best. You know what I mean? But it was just that fact that everyone loved football. Everyone wants to be a footballer. And I think back then, and I was thinking about this the other day, everyone says they want to be a footballer, but no one really knows what it takes to be a footballer. And that's the key. When you're younger, when you're 13, 14, 15, do you actually know what it takes to be a footballer? But nowadays, there's no excuse because you have got so much access to certain stuff, the internet, YouTube, whatever. Back then, we didn't have access to all the stuff on YouTube, the clips that you can go and watch, all that kind of thing. But nowadays, when I see a kid and he can't work, he hasn't got a left or right foot, I'm like, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Because if you go on YouTube right now, how do I work on my weaker foot? There's about 1,000 videos. And that's how I look at it now. It's probably going to become a lot harder nowadays.
But I also think, this is my opinion on Australia, I think people are just quite lazy naturally. They don't realise the work required to be at the highest level. And
is that due to weather? Is that due to lifestyle?
I think it's just comfort. Like, for me, like I was super grateful. Like when I was playing football, if I was playing right wing, if I was running down and I'd miss an open goal, I'd miss a one-on-one or something.
Decent player?
Yeah, decent. I was all right. And my dad would then, because I've never been an aggressive player. And so once I started getting older and people would the defenders would hit you real hard. Yeah. So long as their shoulders went up, it was legal. And I was like, wait, I thought this was non-contact sport. Nah.
Wait till you start playing men's.
It gets and so I was dirty. Like, holy shit. And so dad would just run at me. He'd just hit me for 2 hours straight until I finally got used to it and build up that strength. Yeah. And so, that was a big thing for me. But yeah, I agree. With the internet, it's like...
It is, and that's the route it goes. And I was thinking, well, are Australians a bit more laid back? When I'm comparing them to English people, yes. More friendly, I'd say. Definitely a bit more friendly than English people. And yeah, people are more got a smile on their face. And I think, especially in Sydney, people say, there's rough areas like Mount Druitt and all of that sort of stuff. But I'm like, there's 2 rough areas, but there's not. Majority of people in Sydney are living good. You know what I mean? You've got to have money to live in Sydney. So it's like in London or whatever, you don't have to have money to live in London. You can come from the mud, the dirt or whatever. Not saying that you can't here, but I just feel like the way people look at it is like, Mount Druitt's so bad. And I'm like, Mount Druitt isn't really not that bad in comparison to some places in the UK, But I think it's because there's not a lot of areas like that. you know, and a lot of good people, good successful people come out of there as well.
Well, I've only been to the UK for a few days before I went to Europe.
Where'd you go?
I was just in London. It was a really fun night. Like, there's just pubs everywhere.
Oh, so much going on.
There was so much. I was like, this is crazy. You just walk down, pubs there, pubs there. It was here. I mean, Sydney nightlife is dog shit.
I don't know what to talk
about. But I mean, I'm sure we'll get to that. I actually just went out because No Mask and Dancing's just been released. And I was out Woi Woi, like up the coast. Best night I've had in years. All these country people, these blokes recognised us. And one of them was played for the Mariners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he played with Bolt.
He played with Usain Bolt. Whoa.
Yeah, he played with Usain Bolt.
What's the guy's name? You remember the guys?
I do.
The Central Coast player.
I do. He had like really blonde hair.
Scottish.
We had a look at
Was he a young guy?
Young guy.
He probably would have known who I was as well then.
He might know who you are. Yeah. And my mate looked up at him on Instagram. He scored a screamer recently. But he was saying Bolt, when they walked in the changing rooms, massive.
Oh, like massive, right? Massive. Doesn't shock me, to be fair. Doesn't shock me, but
that was the first thing he shared. He's like, he didn't talk about him on the field. He's just like, massive dick.
First thing, Bolt, massive dick.
Yeah.
Nah, I love that.
But my point is, I had a wild time in the country. I come out here and it's just,
what is wrong with the nightlife in Sydney? Like, what do you think the problem is? How long have you, obviously you're from New Zealand, right?
Yeah, I've been here since I was 12 though.
12.
But the issue is I'm 23.
Yeah.
So I missed out on the night. So King's Cross, which is literally a 3-minute walk from here.
Yeah, people were saying King's Cross used to be the spot, used to be bumping, used to be able to stay out to late nights, and then it was the King Hit.
Lockout laws, King Hits.
King Hits.
King Hit is where you go up from behind and hit someone in the head.
Yeah.
And the King Hits themselves are usually fine, but it'll knock you out, and then they'll fall and just hit the head on concrete, dead. So multiple people getting killed through these like stupid King hits.
That's just a mad concept to me.
And so, but even in classic Sydney style, they went, "How do we solve this? Let's ban everything for 4 or 5 years." And now they've brought it back, but all the pubs have been killed. They've all lost money. They've all gone out of business. So I'm not sure what it is. It's a bizarre concept.
And now it's like if you don't have followers or you're not a girl, you don't get let in, which is a fucking weird concept to me.
Well, that's what you were talking about before.
Because I was like, it was mad to me, and the reason why it was mad to me, and I went in, but I went in for like 5 minutes and then I left because I was just pissed off, and my boys were in there, and I was just like, why is your behavior changing based on how many followers or if I'm somebody? Whereas why can't you just treat me like a decent human being, regardless of you're a fucking bouncer and you've got a position of power for that night? Why can you not treat me as a decent human being? You know, why does your behavior change on certain things? And that just rubs me the wrong way, because it's like, if a doctor wants to go to Coogee Pav, not gonna have 1 million followers on YouTube, is he? But now you can't come in because you're a doctor, and we don't know if your social status is high, you know. And I really don't agree with that, because followers should not be a currency, but I guess it is nowadays.
It is. And like, I mean, it's funny because both you and I have massively benefited from it.
Yeah.
But we can still sit here and go, it's actually, sometimes I benefit from it and I go, that's sad that it took this for me to benefit
exactly.
from it.
And that's the point that I was at. And I was like, because I always see myself and people say, oh, Olan, you got like followers now and like blah, blah, blah. And I always think, and like you take pictures of people and stop, and I'm like, I am just a normal fucking guy. Like that's how always I will see myself. And I think it's because I'm 27. If I had got this, or if I got these followers or people knowing me at 21 when I was a little bit more immature and new, and now I've seen a lot of life and people fail and shit happen back home and all of that sort of stuff, I'm just the most like down to earth, and I'll be like, and I appreciate it, because I feel like everyone is a human being, like everyone's a person, and me taking 2 seconds out of my day to say, oh mate, let's get a picture. How's your day been? Which kind of pictures, which kind of videos do you like that I wear? Oh, why did you like that? Like that might make that person's week or whatever, you know what I mean? And I really want to have those personal interactions with people that follow me, because I still think, oh shit, like you follow me.
But it's also like, feel like we're both pretty small in the big scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but we're small enough where people feel comfortable. You're still just like a guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure when you start hitting those big numbers and stuff, where they're big guys, they disassociate from the fact that you're actually someone. Yeah,
but that's the thing. So recently I've been working with the F2, which I was talking to you about, and what I found and what was crazy to me, Billy, which is one of the F2 guys, and he's got a huge following. Loads of people know he has. And the amount, and I learned so much from just spending maybe a couple of days with him because of how he carried himself in public in terms of people that everyone wanted to stop him. Everyone wanted to take a picture with him. And he had the time. He was never pissed off. He was never like, oh, let's go. None of that. Always sit and talk to like a little 10-year-old or whatever and smile and wave and let's get a picture and everything. And even out of that, where no one was around and it was just me and him talking, he could have been a dickhead. You know what I mean?
He wasn't putting it on.
He wasn't putting it on. He was still giving me that, Olan, you can kind of do this. This is where this is where I think you should go. You should collab with more people. This is kind of what you should do. And it was just amazing to me to see someone at the height of their career and achieve so much. He's worked with Ronaldinho, he's worked with Messi, worked with some of the best players in the world. Lampard, he's worked with Gerrard. He's worked with anyone that's a big name in football.
Right.
He's worked with them. So it was just like
Hazard. That's your thing.
Hazard as well, Hazard. But yeah, so it was just amazing to me to see like people you can still be down to earth and at that high level and operating at that high level. Not everyone is. Some people are completely different, but it was good to see. It was like eye opening for me because it was like, all right, damn, well, what fucking excuse do you have?
But do you know what I reckon it is? Because guys like that, they've come up over time. I think that the people who get hit, they get the big egos when they just bang overnight, and then it's not sustainable. But those guys have been putting out content for years and years and years and years, and they know what they're doing, and they've been able to slowly grow into it versus just going bang overnight
straight away. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Definitely agree with that.
Because that's what you say on like when it comes to TikTok, like the worst thing that could happen to you is to go viral in your first video.
That is the worst thing. I mean, let's talk about TikTok a little bit.
Let's do it.
And we can dive into the algorithm if you want to, but just like your thoughts on like growing a TikTok or growing overnight, or like what was the most amount of followers that you got like overnight for TikTok? Like where you woke up and like, shit, I might be like a bit TikTok famous now. On
my main account, I was posting on Instagram and before Reels, this is 2019. I was posting clips. I was getting 5 views, nothing. 6 months, I got absolutely nothing. I go on TikTok because of COVID. COVID hit, I lost all my job, lost all my work, and I was like, what do I do now? I tried this TikTok thing. I started posting some clips. Then my first video went viral. Literally, dude, at this point, first
video went
viral.
No,
sorry. Then my first video was,
okay, it took a little while.
Video number 20 or something. It was still kind of early in the big scheme. But basically, that went viral. It hit 18,000 views, and I was like, that's cool. I woke up, it was on 2 mil. I gained 20,000 followers in one night, and I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
They went up to probably 30, 35 of that one video.
Yeah.
But do you know what a funny limiting belief I had was?
When was that?
This is, so when COVID hit, so March 2020, so August 2020.
August 2020, because I'm trying to think if it was around the same time that I started posting. And
I've got a bigger one as well, though.
Yeah, and keep going.
Oh, to finish that. But something that's interesting, because you always have excuses, right? For me, for the first kind of few months, I started picking up. And once you hit 40, 50,000 followers, it's not embarrassing to post anymore. Because people are like, oh, he's actually doing well. Whereas if you're posting with no followers, people will, be like, oh, that's cringe, that's embarrassing. But as soon as you can back it up with followers.
True. I didn't think about it like that. Because that is true. Like sometimes when you scroll and someone's got like, I don't know why that's very bad. I think of that. Like I'll see like someone with like, I don't know, like 2K, 1K, and they're just like posting bare videos, and I'm just like, but I kind of like it. I'm kind of like, yeah, man, do you? Like, it doesn't matter if you got fucking views or not. You're enjoying TikTok. You're doing what you're showing your personality. And sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'll like, a girl will be like, yeah, I use TikTok, and I'll be like, all right, cool. Let me see your TikTok, because it like shows me a little bit about your personality, even if it hasn't got millions and millions of views. Like this is you maybe being silly with the girls or chatting to the camera or whatever. It's just you being you at the end of the day, Well,
and people who create content, I know how hard it is. And so I've got a lot of respect for people who put out content. But I think the classic example is if you've got like a really hot girl who posts something and it gets no views, it's embarrassing. But if she gets lots of views, then she's like, even though it could be the same thing.
It's like everyone asks me like, oh, Olan, how do I get big on TikTok? I said there's 3 categories. There's either you're hot, you're a hot girl. 2, you're funny. 3, you're informative. Those are the 3 categories.
That's true.
Because for me, it's like, and I think back to like, why the fuck do I follow people? You're hot, you're informative, or you're funny. You know what I mean? And I think if you don't fit into those 3 categories, it's very hard for you to kind of blow up on TikTok because of how the algorithm is. Because you have to fit into a certain niche. There has to be an audience for the content that you're creating. You know what I mean? So that's the hard thing about TikTok.
Which is actually funny, and we're going down rabbit holes here, but I would say like I was going through your content just to get a refresher before we came in. I was like, what is your niche?
Yeah.
You can talk about NFL NRL players. You talk about obviously football, not even football, sport as a whole is probably your niche.
I think about this, and the reason, and that's the reason why I reckon I haven't got as much followers as some other people, but a lot of people will see me and recognize me, or I've seen the video, because I've done so many various different types of video. I might have done an Aussie v British one. Yeah. Then I might do a lot of football ones. Then I might do an NRL one. Then I might do a Love Island one, because I'm hitting all those different markets. But I never wanted to put myself in a box. So when I first started off, I was just posting football content. But I was like, Dan, you're more than just like a footballer. You're more than just someone that just likes football. And I very early on, I made that decision to say, I'm not just going to post football content. I'm going to do this. And the first, because all my football videos would bang, they would do well, whatever I was doing in football. Then I was like, you know what, I'll throw this one out there. Didn't do too well. I was like, you know what, every so often I'll keep throwing one out there. And then one just done really well that wasn't a football. And I was like, bang, I'm just going to keep on doing different stuff. At first, the followers are a bit like, oh, like, why is it not football content? But then they understand that you have a personality. Yeah. You're more than just a football content creator. You're a bit more. You go into different markets. You'll embrace the Australian culture. And I think I just want to be a personality, a sports personality, so that people know, well, he can do other stuff, but his base is in sports. Like, I love sports. I love the NRL. Like, I might dabble into a bit of AFL. I love football as well. So I think that's mainly what I want to be known for, in and around the other stuff as well.
And commentating, I think. Yeah. But that goes hand in hand with the sport.
Yeah. The commentary one is one that I didn't know that I was, like the reaction stuff, like I didn't know. I stumbled upon that, because I've always had those. Anyone that knows me, I'll be sitting in my living room, that will literally be my reaction. You know what I mean? But I didn't know people liked to see that, or want to resonated with that, you know, which was new for me. So I was like, you know what, I'll just do more.
I think it's something satisfying about seeing someone who's not Australian react to Australian content. People find that they're like, oh, I want to see what other people think, especially because Australia is such a bubble, and you know, we're so far away from everyone else. It's like, and also, you maybe less so for growing up in the UK, but growing up in New Zealand, Australia, there was no Australian and New Zealand content, especially for me. Now there is, but it's like everything was American. And so you almost you're like...
Because it's like American or British, and that's what I find.
It was American or British, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I find with us, especially a lot of Australian culture or something. Also, there's a lot of British people over there, which is going to influence anyway. But it's almost like you either sometimes you're too much British, or sometimes you're too much American, you know? And it's like some people are afraid to just be like an Australian, just be Aussie, you know what I mean? Where some people aren't, but I find that, especially when I talk about music as well, which is the hard thing for Australian drill scene and rap and scene and all of that sort of stuff, which I've done some reaction videos on that as well, where I'm listening to the music and it's either too British or too American. Yeah. And it's hard to find that balance, because there wasn't an Australian.
There's no one to look up to.
Exactly. These guys are the first, like the 1-4s and all that. They were the first guys to kind of pioneer and create that like Aussie drill theme, like feel. So now I think the generation coming behind them will have stuff to talk about, or to look up to and be like, oh, we can be like them. We don't have to be like Stormzy or be like Drake or whatever. You know what I mean?
Speaking of, did you see the halftime show?
Yes. So you talking about Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It was a mad.
It's the first time I've ever watched Super Bowl.
Really?
It's actually a cool sport.
Yeah. Like, what American football or Super Bowl?
American football. Yeah. So I'm like, I guess it's slow. Like the stop-start. I'm not a fan of the stop-start, but I love the strategy. Yeah.
What it is it's built for, and I lived in America for a long time, it's built to be a performance. It's built to be a whole, like people will go to the games and everyone will get smashed. Like they'll know what's going on. Yes, we won or whatever, but like it's a whole show, and that's the difference between America and everywhere else in the world, is that they'll put on this show. They'll get all the best artists, they'll get whoever's singing, they'll get stuff going on, and you just want to be there, you just want to be involved.
The money is insane.
Yeah,
like the money.
Like, have you seen the ads in the Super Bowl? They apparently cost, I don't know,
10 mil for 30 seconds. I think
10 mil for 30 seconds.
I think around that, and that's US.
That is insane. And then it's the best. And the thing is, it's the best time to show an advert, number one. And it's the only time I feel like I actually want to watch an advert. Yeah. Well, like everywhere else, I turn it off.
Well, you know Gary Vee. Yeah. He always talks about like how like traditional advertising, you want to get on TikTok, you want to get on all these apps. But then he goes, but the one thing I'm very bullish on is the Super Bowl ad when it comes to traditional advertising. Because it's like people will stop. they'll drift off during the game and then they'll switch on for the ads.
That is crazy. It's like almost like a reversal, which is mad.
Do you know the starting price for a seat at the Super Bowl?
Oh no, I know it's extremely expensive.
Bro, the worst seats in the house, $6.5 grand.
Wow, that's
$6.5.
Is that American?
I think it's Australian actually. I think that's Australian.
That's still expensive.
I mean, what's that? Still probably like 4.5.
Yeah, it's still very expensive for the worst seats, and you got to think. And then thinking the best seats probably go from like they got to go 10. They got if the worst seats are 3 or 4, then the best seats have got to go like 10. Got to go upwards of 10.
Oh yeah, and like the boxes are 3 million plus. The money's just insane. But going back to what we were saying with TikTok, because you mentioned you're doing football, because similar to me, and this is how almost everyone starts. They find a niche and then they grow out of it.
Yeah.
But the problem is they look at people like you and they go, I want to do everything that Olan's doing. Or I want to do all the different guests that I'm interviewing, and I've got different podcasts now. I want to do that. It's too much. Yeah, you got to start with your thing.
Got to build a base.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing I'm happy that I've done, and I'll always revert back to football, and I'll always create football content because it is me. But I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to say I need to make a football video today. I need to. I'm going to say, how do I feel today? Okay, what ideas just popped into my head? Okay, let me write that down. All right, I'm going to do that one. I'll do that one. Oh, Chelsea just played thingy. Okay, my fans are going to want to see a reaction. Let me go do that. I only do football content now when it comes to me, and I don't want to force it. And that's the one thing that I told myself, that don't force the content. And what I didn't realize is that I am actually addicted to posting. I don't know when it happened. I don't know what happened, but like I'm addicted to posting now because I've been like, I didn't realize like a habit. When you do stuff for a long period of time, it just becomes a habit. So I've been posting now on TikTok for the last 2 years, but I didn't, because I was just doing it to enjoy it and have fun or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize like you've now created a habit that like if I go 3 days without posting, I'm like, shit, I haven't posted.
You feel sick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I need to throw something out there, and come up with an idea. But it is true. Do you feel the same way?
Dude, I mean, I think I've posted over 3,000 videos.
That's crazy.
Like on TikTok across, because I got 3 accounts now.
Yeah.
So, the main account, I usually post 2-3 times a day. If I'm doing well, I have moments where I'm like, I got too much stuff.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the slump. The TikTok slump.
I'm in a slump for my main account now.
Yeah. So dude, it's hard to get out of, man.
Dude, the past 2 weeks.
And it almost makes me don't want to post.
Yeah. The past 2 weeks, I think I've lost 800 followers.
Wow. You've lost them.
This is a hard thing about TikTok people don't realize. Like the whiplash for me is I have insane growth and I stop. Then insane growth. It's not this nice, steady thing. And so it's like you get addicted to it.
Do you compare yourself to others?
I try not to, but I think everyone always subconsciously does.
Yeah, I do.
Especially podcast clips have been absolutely going wild lately. And a lot of like really shitty podcasts have been coming out.
Yeah, I'm almost so I don't know. I think it's the footballer in me that I'm competitive and I'm just like, oh, fuck, this guy's on blah, blah, blah. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess it's just that competitive edge, but I do find the slump is hard. And that's what... I think it's actually harder now to blow up on TikTok. I think it's harder to get more followers because, like you said, when you posted, first of all, in the first couple of days, or not a couple of days, but when that clip hit, people were instantly following.
Oh my God.
Because there was less creators.
Especially educational creators.
So you were super niche, So when I first hit, there was that same sort of thing where I blew up. And it was like my first video, or not even my first video, it was just my first football video that was a funny one. It was on like, it got like 300K, 500K, and I was like, what the hell? What do I had no idea what to do. I was like almost addicted to I was just refreshing.
Oh,
I was just constantly, I was like, what's going on? I've never had that feeling of like, just to refresh and notifications, people commenting.
And the 99 notifications.
99 notifications. It was just crazy to me. But now it's not even, I don't even really glance at it too much. But it was that thought of, oh shit, like maybe people have seen my video. People know who I am. Like it was very, very new. How did you feel when you like a first video blew up?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
What do I do now?
it was kind of like it blew up and I was like, I didn't know what to think. I was like, oh my gosh. And like, it's so crazy now because I got so many friends who are putting out content. I'm meeting people like you. But when I did it, it was just me. I had no one to look up to. No one was doing the podcasting clips. Maybe money that there's like 2 or 3 accounts.
You were the first one I followed, and I think when I followed you, I maybe had like 30, 40K.
Yeah.
That was putting out podcasting clips.
Well, that's actually something.
This podcast is sick.
That I'm quite proud of. Is you know how on TikTok now, if someone pops up on your For You page and they follow you, it says following you.
Yeah. It's
crazy how many people that I respect follow me that I have no idea, and they pop up and they've got like, doctors who have 7 million followers that follow me. I'm like, holy crap. And it's always not just, they're always like really interesting accounts. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Because I feel like you were the first one to get the podcasting clips correct in terms of not how it needs to look, but how you can package that information into a 1 minute video or package it into a 30-40 second video where you can hook the person and be like, oh shit, let me see what he's talking about. Let me watch more of this. Let me go and look at the podcast, which like I said, I love that about you, man. You've done that really well.
Thank you. Well, I mean, all my listeners come from TikTok because it's a podcast for young people. How else do you get their attention outside of TikTok?
It has to be TikTok. Yeah. It has to be TikTok.
But like, I mean, even it's harder to grow an account now, but it's funny because you mentioned the 3 types, right? Informative, I guess, educational, which is what I am, comedy, and then good looking. Yeah. And oh my God, comedy and entertainment, walk in the park. Like I'm about to overtake my main account in 3 months with this new account. Wow,
which is just comedy, but pretty much comedy.
It's just comedy. It's just me and my mate talking shit. We sit right here. Yeah. We drink whiskey while we do it and tell each other crazy stories. Wow. So that account even blew up quick. So TikTok will actually influence your account when you first start. Yeah. So you're more likely to go viral
when you first start.
To incentivize you. So if you can put out some really good content from the get-go. So if you scroll back down to our account, our biggest video got 13 million views. It was a story on Toy Story. Mate, I think we hit like 100K off that one video.
Wow.
Like, it just went berserk.
What was it talking about? I really want to dive into why you think a video blows up in the first couple seconds. So what do you reckon it is?
That strategy is we made this podcast for TikTok. It's completely, I'm a puppeteer for this. I'm pulling strings. It's called Fact or Cap. And then there's a countdown to reveal whether it's fact or cap. So people want to stay for the countdown.
Oh, shit.
So every video...
So you're already getting them from the jump, if it's cap or not, and they have to stay. So at the end, you'll reveal if it's true or not.
Yes. So we don't know. We don't know if they're
And that gets the watch time.
Our watch time on this account's insane because we do like 1 minute videos and everyone will stay to the end. So like that's it. But then we also do the hook. So every single clip, we script out the opening line. So what was the opening line for that? It was like, have you heard about the Toy Stories? Or like, did you know this? It's only a did you know. Did you know Ronaldo gave his success to his brother or his friend? I don't know if you heard that story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I've heard that one.
And so that was an interesting clip because millions of people have heard about it, but it was actually bullshit.
Oh, really?
Because we did all this research. There was
was it the one where like his best friend signed for? They both signed at Lisbon. Was it that one?
There's this one where there's like 2 of them, and there was like scouters, and they said whoever like scores the most, we're going to sign. Yeah. And then the mate, his friends beat the keeper. Yes. Well, no, he beat the defender at a 1-on-1 and swayed it to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo popped it in. Yeah, and then they signed Ronaldo. Yeah. And we're just like, what's bullshit? Who would ever sign someone because they decided to pass it instead of take a selfish shot? Yeah. But the reason it went viral is because everyone in the comments was saying, this is true, this is true, this is true. And then we did another video saying it's not true. That got 1 million views. But the Toy Story one was basically similar concept. I shared a story that everyone knew, but I manipulated it. So the original story was Toy Story 2. They accidentally hit a button and it caused a virus, which deleted the whole movie. Oh. So they lost the whole movie. However, there was a woman on maternity leave at home, working from home, and she had a whole copy saved. What? And so they managed to save the whole movie. That's the true story.
What?
But the real story the fake one that I shared, the fake story I shared was that these 3 kids broke into the Toy Story. They stole a copy of it. Yeah. Then Toy Story accidentally deleted it, which was true. But then they reached out to the kids and they said, hey, we've got the copy. And they sold it back to Disney for $10 million.
Oh my God. That's class. That's a good story.
And so all the comments are going, this isn't true. This isn't true. The real story is this. And so it just kept...
So the engagement was going through the roof. Yeah. People love that, especially on TikTok where they can try to prove you wrong. Or they can say their point. I've almost found that. But how do you feel? And let's dive into like negative comments and the mindset. And I was thinking about this the other day, talking to one of my friends about it. Like my engagement and my fans are supportive, right? And I get about 80% positive comments, maybe like 20% shut the fuck up, right? Which I don't really care about those people. But I always thought to myself, how would I deal with it being the other way around? And I don't think I could deal with it.
To be honest, a lot of my videos are the other way around.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. This is what I mean. Like
I think I'm strong-minded, but like sometimes when I'm having a bad day, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? Let me just go on TikTok. And there's someone like, bro, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? You don't have no idea. I'm just like,
See, those ones don't even bother me. The ones are when they attack me as a person. Like, I had the other day, I just open up, I was out with some friends, I open up TikTok, I just see a comment, he says, I hate this podcast. And it's just like, it's such a, it's such a dagger into the heart. You know what I mean?
It's like, oh,
it's like,
I was having a good time.
And it doesn't, like, of course it affects you, because you're having fun, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And like
it's just like, it shouldn't affect you, but it's like, it's human. Like, it's just, it's human. It's just like a little dagger at the armor, you know? It's just like a little, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, sometimes I have got to that point where I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to post today because I just feel like, oh, fuck, I can't be asked if it's like some negative comments, you know, and I don't get that many, you know, and which is why I feel like I definitely need to, like, I am strong-minded and I have dealt with a lot of failure and I have dealt with building myself up. I mean, I have this tattoo which says I can, I will, I must. So I am really motivational and strong-minded, but I was never prepared for being in the people knowing who I am, or I was never prepared for that. I was more prepared in coach telling me I'm shit. How am I gonna bounce back from that? Being told that I'm not good enough. How am I gonna not your shit, or not like thousands of people like
it's
that, you know what I mean?
To me, it's not even the comment. It's when that comment has like 10,000 likes, and you're like,
yeah,
that is like that's all those daggers going.
Yeah, that's like,
you know what I mean?
Fuck, his like got more comments than my reply. Fuck, it wasn't that funny.
But also like, so for me, because it's actually pretty rare I get a viral video that's positive. Usually I get viral videos because there's a bit of I talk about how much I hate the ATAR system, which is the schooling system in Australia. Bro, everyone in the world agrees with me, but for some reason when I say it certain ways, people just be like, well, what if you want to be a doctor? Bro, what? Doctors have to study for 10 years. What does their ATAR matter? Are you going to talk to a doctor who's been in the field for 20 years and be like, what was your ATAR?
Yeah,
and he's going to like, what do you mean?
I think it's the same. Well, in UK, we got something called like GCSEs.
Yeah.
And there's been thousands and thousands of people who have been successful with getting bad grades or whatever. But I'm always an advocate for doing well in school because it just sets you up in life. Whatever you want to do.
Do as well as you can.
Do as well as you can. And
I just say do as well as you can, but don't sacrifice your mental health.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
People are going like, I have to get this mark because otherwise I'm a failure. And it's like, no.
There is a lot of pressure. And for me, I feel like there was a lot of pressure because my brothers were always smarter than me. My brothers were always like they were twins and they were a year above and they got like 5 A stars and all that sort of shit. And I was almost like the younger, dumber one, you know? So it was hard, but in the grand scheme of things, I wasn't like failing, you know, but I felt like I was because I was like, oh shit, my brothers have got this, you know? So there is added pressure, but at the end of the day, I reckon you do as best you can, and that's all you can really do, you know? It's not the end of the world, you know? But
because I wanted to keep talking about hate comments because it's similar to you. Like I guess for me, I was like, I'm doing a podcast to help educate young people. Why would I ever get hate? Yeah, I was wrong. And so
I'm doing something positive. Why would people ever hate on me? You know?
I was so lucky. The first video, the one I mentioned earlier that went viral, was mainly people were positive. And if they weren't positive, they were arguing with each other in the comments, but they weren't coming for me.
Yeah.
It's the worst I've found is I had a guy once kind of mock on my podcast. And it was a funny video. I didn't actually mind it.
You done a skit?
Yeah, he did a skit.
Oh, fuck.
And you know the crazy thing is, no one sent it to me. I just came off my For You page.
What?
And I was like...
TikTok was like, listen, we're going to feed you this today. You're not going to escape this one today.
Yeah. And he started doing it, and I was like... He basically quoted one of my clips, and I was just like... And my heart sunk, because I was like, what's this? And I was like, shit, I clicked... That wasn't the bad part. The skit was fine. It's the comments, dude. Everyone's going, oh yeah, I hate this guy. Everyone's tagging me. Everyone's going, I'm so sick of this guy. And it's just like, and they're all getting likes, and like people were tagging their friends. Just like,
see, that's hard to see.
They were like bonding over how much they didn't like me, and I was like,
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that was.
You know what I mean? That's hard. That's hard because it's like you're not actively going out there to cop this hate, or you know, there's some creators where they create stuff.
Yeah.
For like the Island Brothers, you saw them, the Island Boys or whatever. You know, they're creating stuff because they know people are gonna cop hate or whatever, and they're gonna
like
cop
Jake
that.
Paul
or whatever. You know, he's creating content because he knows it's gonna get a reaction. People are gonna hate him or they love him, you know. Whereas if you unintentionally cop that hate, how do you deal with it? Yeah. And I do want to dive into a space where we talk about mental health and creators, which is a big thing.
I've said
and it's not talked about enough.
I've said to people, like, if you want to do what I do, you have to always be in a good mental space, because you get a video like that, that can be the thing that tips you over.
Exactly. And people don't realize, they say, oh, you're a creator, like just deal with it, like you're whatever, just deal with it. But no one can be prepared for what you get, or that like you being cancelled. Like, how the fuck do you deal with being cancelled? Yeah, maybe you made one mistake and
I had that.
What did you do?
So here's another. I've got a few stories.
Jesus, you've been cancelled a few times?
Nah, I mean, I don't know. I don't cancel. I had to do an apology video. So,
oh fuck. Okay, that counts.
It was bullshit though. No, it was fair, but like basically, I have a second podcast on consent education, and that's got another 300,000 followers on that account as well. And we shared. I interviewed an expert. This guy Brent. He's been talking for 25 years. He's had all the controversy under the sun. He's a straight white man talking about consent. He doesn't even care anymore. He does what he does. He's phenomenal at it. But we posted a clip. Again, this is the issue with the podcast clips. It takes a conversation out of context,
which is the big thing.
And so here's what happened. It was a conversation about age of consent. We'd covered like everything. And then I went, but what if someone lies about their age? And he goes, great question, Byron. Let's say we had a younger girl, 16. She takes her older sister's ID. She goes into the club. She flirts with a guy. He has every reason to believe that she's over 18. She goes home. They sleep together. The parents walk in. What happens then?
Yeah, that's an interesting fucking topic.
23 million views.
That is an interesting topic.
I was getting 2 to 3 duets a day for 2 months of people ripping us apart. I got called pedophile, rapists. They were like, we're trying to justify sleeping with children.
Wow.
And it was so gutting because I was like, I'm actually on your side.
Yeah.
Like can't you see we're trying to provide education?
Yeah. And that's how many people have been caught in that that crossfire, with girls lying about their age, So it's like, it's a genuine question that me as myself, I'd want to know the answer to, respectively. Because I'd never ever catch myself in that situation because I'm normally a bit switched on, but I would want to know like, fuck, what does happen if,
The thing that annoyed me because they were like, "Oh, you can tell if a girl is 16." It's like,
no, you
bro,
fucking
if
can't.
They're dressing up to go out, you cannot tell.
No,
like, not to justify it.
No,
but like even their arguments were really weak. But you can't argue back because then it's like
just like the whole feminist thing
you get
against
worse
you.
and worse.
Yeah, you're just digging yourself a hole almost.
But I made an apology video. I took it down, and that got really. Everyone was like, "Yeah, you're doing good stuff, mate. Keep it up." So they got really well received.
Oh, okay.
And then
I reckon it's the more, which is even if you. I don't feel like it was that much of a mistake, but it's like they like the acknowledgement of, okay, guys, I understand what you guys are saying. This is how I want it perceived. If you perceive it this way, I'm sorry. That does go a long way with some people, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I said that. I said, look, I can understand why out of context this clip looks a bit dodgy, but here's the real context.
Because I posted one like that not long ago, which got taken out of context as well, which is, I don't know if you watch maths or not, but I posted a Twitch clip, which was like an Asian guy, or an Asian woman, sorry, and the Asian guy. I'm not Asian guy. He was just this white guy from Northern Beaches. Fucking hate him, honestly. Honestly, the most annoying bloke on the show. But everyone who watches the show will kind of know what I'm talking about. But there was a clip that said, she asked, "Are you not attracted to me because I'm Asian?"
I think I saw this.
Yeah, and his response was, yes. And people were saying, well, is he racist? Is he not racist? Is it racist not to?
Right.
Because she's not his type. And everyone took the clip out of context saying, no, he's not racist. He's just saying she's not his type. And I had to make a duet video and say, listen, you fucking idiots, right? That's not the whole point. If you've watched the show, you will understand that this guy has constantly degraded her, right? Said that my dick and my schlong are not working together. Why, you're a beautiful woman, but my dick just is not rising, or something like that. So he's degraded her in certain senses, and she's voiced that she has low confidence about her being Asian. So if you knew that, you wouldn't bring up certain things.
He's like almost exploiting it.
He's almost exploiting it, and then people were like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense, But it was the whole thing of the clip getting taken out of context again, which is the hard thing with TikTok, because you don't want to share something too long. People get bored. You don't want to share stuff too short. People take it out of context,
People be like, oh, bro, why don't... Because I'll like... Sometimes if a video goes viral, I'll do like a part 2. And they're like, oh, why don't you put it in one video? Because then you wouldn't have seen it, mate. It wouldn't have gone viral. That's the whole point. What do you mean put a 3-minute video up? And it's like...
They're like, why are you putting it in part? If I did one, you wouldn't have seen it anyway. The engagement would have been high.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I find as well, where taking it out of context and like obviously sharing clips that, people take out of context.
Like, this was crazy, because all these duets, right? I was getting duet after duet, and some of these duets were getting 250,000 views, which means they were getting hundreds of comments of more girls, mainly girls, just ripping them into. And then
when you get onto that side of TikTok, it's awful. I wonder if you follow this woman, right? And she's got, I don't know, 5 million followers or whatever. And basically what she does is duet guys. She duets guys.
A fellow or something.
Yeah, and absolutely tears a new one.
She roasts them.
And she's fucking funny.
She's really good.
She's good.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, it's amazing what she does. But then there was a video to say like, well, flip it on its head.
I saw that as well.
And I took it in for a second. I was thinking, imagine if there was a guy out there who duetted women and just tore them all new ones. Yeah. And that guy would be cancelled in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And she often goes for like, you're bald, you're overweight.
Yeah,
she only does that because that's what they're saying in their clips.
Exactly. So it's like she comes at them for good reason.
Yeah.
They deserve it. But I'm just thinking, would an account that was the opposite blow up? Or would the guy be cancelled?
There's women who talk about like high value males, and they say, oh, if he's not paying for a day, all this stuff. It's like it's the same energy as the clips that she's kind of talking about. But even interesting with her, because she duets a lot of podcast guys, right? Which is kind of blown up, and people just like frustratingly group me with them because I'm a straight white podcast guy, even though I do educational content.
Oh mate, if she duets one of your videos, you're done. You're done for. You're done for. I hope this doesn't go anywhere because I don't want her to duet.
I'm gonna post it.
We're cancelled if she duets this, honestly, because
no, but I see. My worry is, what if I posted that consent clip and someone like her gets a hold of it? See, I like to think she would do her research though. Yeah. If you look at my other clips, everyone mainly positive stuff. Yeah, but it's just
because I reckon she's the type to be like, someone will be like, get out, and she will go through like anything she can find, and then bang, that's something I can use. But like I said, it's just an interesting topic to see whether it'd be received on the other way. But I feel like a lot of women, when they find someone like that, they're like, fuck, we've just found like the goddess of all of the empowering.
Oh, they worship her.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, I'd hate to, like I said, I'd hate to be in that duet one of the videos. You just corner, you just cop it. That's it. You just cop it.
You just cop it.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting conversation, and I feel weird talking about it because I know people are going to think, oh, of course you bring up what it's the other way around, but it's like, it's an interesting conversation to have.
Just like I said, it could happen. How would the account do? And to be fair, like some of the stuff she does, most of the stuff I agree with it. Like I'm like, yeah, that's out of order. But then that leads me on to the height thing.
The height thing pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, how tall are you?
See, I'm 6 foot. So
I
benefit from it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm almost 6'2", and I still feel some type of way when girls talk about height.
Yeah.
Because it's wait a second. We can't change this.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, you and girls have specifically told me this, where they've been like, I'm like, do you like that guy? She's like, yeah, he's cute. I'm like, you think he's good looking? She's like, yeah, he's cute. I'm like, but he's not over 6 foot. Yeah. I'm like, bro.
You seen the clip with the young Philly?
Yeah.
Like, how tall is he?
Yeah.
How tall is he?
Yeah,
is my height?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she's taking the piss.
Yeah, she's taking the piss a little bit.
But I mean, there's an element of truth to that. Yeah, the height thing is, I think it's, as we both benefit from it. Like I've never had any girl have any issue with my height, which has been great. But it's like I feel so bad because
for my short guys,
you can't change it. Yeah. It's like, at least if you've got stuff going on with your body, there's elements of stuff that you can't change, but you have more control than you do with your height.
And then it's like, and this is the thing, but short girls, right? So short girls, right, like say we're saying 5'4", 5'5", want a tall guy, right? But then so they want someone over 6 foot. So what about the girls that are actually tall? So the girls that are actually tall are missing out on the tall guys, because they're going with the short girls. So then it's like there's people in limbo that are like, I can't find a guy because I can't go with the short guys because I'm actually taller than them, but the tall guys are with the short girls. So it's hard
to me, and even then I'm nervous talking about this because it's like people are gonna, to me it's the height of hypocrisy to be going off a guy's height
100%.
when it's like, guys are equally as bad with body image and stuff, but it's like you're just fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't solve anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the height thing is super interesting. But I mean, going on to maybe not her, but just like cancel culture in general, we kind of spoke about like for me, like the emotional, I sat down with my mum. I almost did like a therapy session with mum. I was like, I feel like all I do, I just get hate for everything I post. I'm trying to put good in the world. It's
hard because it's almost like you're not paid enough to deal with that shit.
I'm not paid anything. Bro, I don't get anything.
It's like if I was getting millions, like Jake Paul and stuff, I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, my account's okay.
Yeah.
But on the come up, it's a lot
especially
harder.
For me, when you're trying to, and I guess for you, like I'm just trying to put out educational content. Dude, Byron and Pace, I don't think we've had a single hate comment. when we just post dumb stuff, talking about fake Ronaldo stories, Toy Story stories, gay Superman I mentioned. Like, we just talk about the weirder stuff. It's such a breeze around that account. But I don't have the impact. Like, I get DMs I get probably a few DMs a week. I had one this week of a girl who sent me like full paragraph. She's just like, hey, I applied this strategy. I just got a fully paid internship. I want to say thank you so much. If I hadn't,
and that's priceless, man.
Yeah, and they're the most valuable things. I had a 13-year-old girl, the youngest listener I've ever had. She reached out. She said, hi, Byron, your podcast has changed my life. I was feeling down. You've got me out of it. I'm like, see, I don't get that on Byron and Pace.
Yeah.
And that's where I always focus on why and impact.
Which is, like I said, you're doing something right, and you're impacting people's lives, you know. And that's the thing. I never thought I'd be able to have an impact on people's lives and change people's mindsets, and like even the way people see a black British guy coming over, and maybe and I did get, especially when I made videos of saying like, hey, all the man them come over to Australia, it's a beautiful place over here. I got comments like, oh fuck, don't bring all those fucking black British people
really
over. I got a few of those saying we don't want those thugs in England coming over here, and to me I was like, well, so because I'm black and British and I'm from London, I'm a thug. But I played at a professional level, and I came over here and I've never been arrested for anything illegal. So it's like,
well, and they're probably, and because you're Australian, you're a drunk bogan. Yeah, they're just stereotypes.
Yeah, it's a stereotype thing, and I think it's when you can break down those barriers, and people say, listen, I've never met anyone like you, like, and I really like that, and that really, like, I love your stuff. Keep going. I think you're the fucking best guy on TikTok, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, because to me, I'm like still nobody. Yeah, you know what I mean. But to this person that they've watched me and they really like my content, I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I'm like, maybe like 5 years, and if I'm still doing it or whatever, where I'm like shocked, and like I'm not shocked. You know what I mean? I'm always like, oh shit, no, really, me? You know? So
same with me. Like, I get recognized basically on night outs when people are drunk. Yeah, that's when they come up and recognize me. Yeah. But then, because I've been doing many because of COVID, but like when we went out the other night, and I told you the Mariners guy, so one of his mates recognized us. He was so hyped. He was like, "No way! You do the TikTok. You did the Ronaldo story." I was like, "Yeah, that's us." And he was like getting a photo with us, and it was like,
it's amazing.
It's good, and they were great blokes. So we had a chat with them for ages.
Is TikTok the new YouTube?
Did you see what they just released? 10-minute videos.
Did they?
They did.
Fuck.
Yeah. Whether you have it yet, but
I don't think I have it. I would get everything late. Like I just got the creator thing. Like I just got
what?
Like the creator fund thing, where like people can like send you in business stuff.
Oh right, I don't know. No one uses it.
No one uses it. I just got that. But I always get stuff late. Even like 3-minute videos I got later than some people that didn't even have like a following.
I have a few Instagram accounts. My main account, I was on 30-second reels for so long. Yeah, it was so, and all my videos are over 30 seconds. Yeah, so I couldn't repost them, and I'm like, oh.
I don't know, man. But I probably won't get that for like till next year. But 10-minute videos, that's a long fucking time.
I know. I don't know how
that will work, because TikTok it's such long short form content. I don't know if people would stay for 10 minutes.
They're competing. I don't think it's YouTube is still the most valuable platform you can have, I think. So me and my mate have started vlogging. We just do it for fun. But I still think it's the most valuable platform you could have.
It is. I would trade 200k followers on YouTube for TikTok in an instant. In a heartbeat. Yeah. Because you're set up for life. You know, YouTube's the only platform where it filters to every other platform. You know, like if you're big on YouTube, you're normally bigger on Instagram. People are gonna know who you are on TikTok. You know, whereas other platforms don't filter to other platforms. You know, like TikTok doesn't filter to YouTube. Like Instagram doesn't really filter to YouTube either. You know, whereas YouTube just
spreads, because that's where you can build the best relationship. And that's why for me, TikTok's just a vehicle. TikTok's always a vehicle to get them to the podcast, because there's only so much value I can provide in 30 seconds, a minute. Yeah, it's like you for Twitch. You get people to Twitch.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, come over to Twitch where we go longer term stuff, longer format stuff.
That's where you'll get the deep people saying, "Hey man, I really enjoy your content."
Yeah, anyone that stays in my Twitch chat or whatever, like I feel like I get to know them personally. Yeah, like I've got mods in there that I have chats with and all of that sort of stuff. You know, so it is really good. I just enjoy getting to know my followers, man.
Yeah. Cool, man. This has been a fun chat.
Right, I feel like we could go forever, man.
I know. I feel like we could.
Yeah. No, I've enjoyed it, man. Hopefully, I'll definitely come back again soon, man.
100%. Yeah. I mean, let's stay in touch, because as we've mentioned, and to the listeners as well, like we're hosting quite a few events here regularly. Yeah. And I'm trying to build out like a network of creators that I actually think are really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of traditional Australian creators. Like it's like the influencers, like the ones who kind of run the shop.
Yeah,
it's like,
I feel you.
They don't do much.
Yeah,
They just,
I feel you. And I'm big on like now like people just like collaborating and like bringing each other up, because when you look at UK and America, everyone collabs. Yeah, everyone comes together. Everyone does different stuff, and it's like, why aren't we doing that over here? Why is everyone just staying on their own little platform?
Because I think once they get big enough, they piss off to the UK or LA.
Yeah, probably. They're probably like, all right, boys, I'm out.
Yeah,
You know, so
actually, before we go into I got some kind of rapid fan questions
let's
here.
go.
But before we go into those, like, I know you talk about it quite a bit, but how have you found the difference between Australia and the UK? Because I know a lot of UK people who go to Bondi. So many UK people in Bondi.
Wait, Bondi is basically UK, and people ask me, "Oh, why don't you live in Bondi?" Because I want to experience Australian culture, bruv. You know what I'm saying? I came out in Australia not to go back to England, mate. You know what I mean? You go in Bondi, you're basically walking down like a street in London. You know what I mean? So all the British people have migrated over there, but I choose to like kind of stay out of that area, man. But it's a nice area. But how have I found the difference? I found the difference for me, like, this is the most successful time in my life. You know, when I look back, I get up, I'm excited, I'm happy. I'm in a good mental space. Do I miss my family and friends? Yes, every single day. That's the only downside. But everything else, the people, how accepting everyone is, all of that kind of thing is the reasons why I do love Australia. And I think I will be here on and off for a long time, you know?
Have you been to New Zealand?
No.
Mate, I haven't. You think the people here are good? I would say New Zealand are hands down.
I don't think I've met anyone from New Zealand that I haven't liked.
Bro, like, it's because, you know, you don't see that many Aboriginals in Australia, do you?
No.
Like, there's not many around, and that's due to all the atrocities that have happened and stuff. But like, New Zealand was different. They weren't so much invaded the same way Australia was. They kind of almost signed a peace treaty, and then they almost kind of united. So there's a lot more Maoris in New Zealand, and they're just the best people. They're so funny, like, cool, the nicest, sweetest people. Like,
proper cool.
New Zealanders, like, I want to retire there, for sure.
Places fun, I'd have to take a trip down there, man.
Dude, 100%.
For sure, I have to take a trip. Maybe we'll organize one, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so good. But I got some rapid fire questions to just finish it up. I kind of asked it, but what are the biggest differences between the UK and Australia? Biggest
differences for me, number one, the people. Number two, the weather. Number three, the ability for people to support you to make it, I think. The positivity around you doing well, I think. And the embracing of my culture. I don't know, because some people say, well, it goes 50-50. Some people are like, no, they don't embrace other people's cultures, and they're not multicultural and stuff like that, which they're behind. Yes, Australians are behind. But in terms of being like, some people do have an open mind and like, oh, okay, that's how it is. And I've got a lot of that, which I didn't really expect, because sometimes in America or whatever, I lived in America as well, it's more like, well, yeah, you're British, but you're fucking black. So that's what we see. That's what we, honestly, that's what we see.
Wow.
We know you're speaking British, but you're black, you're African American. So they can't even see past the colour to my accent, and I'm actually from England though. You know what I mean? But
that's so stupid.
Yeah, it is. But
like, how unintelligent are you?
It is, and I've done a few stories or whatever, how I dealt with stuff, or the stuff that had happened to me in America and stuff like that, in terms of racism and all that sort of stuff. Because I lived in fucking Kentucky.
Right.
You know what I mean? For some reason, I went to Kentucky and I did college there, and I did to Atlanta as well. So it's just, it's just different, very different to Australia, man.
But they are behind that. Like, I think I say, like, if you look at like the UK, it's just everyone's more mingled.
Yeah.
Whereas here, like, there's a lot of cultures, but they're, you know, the Asians are in Cabramatta.
Exactly.
You've got white people in the North Shore. You've got, you know, Bankstown has a lot of Arabs.
It's not integrated.
It's just like bubbles everywhere. They say we're about 20 years behind the UK in that sense.
Yeah, they are. And I made a video about it saying, like, nobody mixes with anybody.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like white people stay with white people, Asians stay with Asians, you know. Other people stay with other people, and it's like, well, why isn't there like, there will be an area in London where you can go to and it's just everyone's different.
Yeah.
You'll see a black person, white person, mixed couple, Asian person, you know, you'll see different nationalities. Everyone's just mixed together almost, you know. There's no, you know, so I reckon maybe it'll take a while for that to happen in Australia, but because they're a little bit behind the UK. But I do think most Australians are open-minded, you know what I mean, which I found here.
It's hard for me because I surround myself with people who have the same beliefs as me. So it's like, for me to say I think most Australians are,
it's because
that's who I surround myself with. But I'm not with the delinquents and the drop kicks who are, exactly. Saying the N-word all the time. Like, I'm not with those people. So it's hard to tell. Cool. I thought I'd bring this up. I don't even want to talk about it, but just because it's something I talk about, and I'll talk about it more in the future. Yeah. You saw the Mason Greenwood scandal, right? Yes. Like, do you want to just explain what's been going on there?
Well, basically, I've done a video about it. Basically, he was...
who is he, for starters?
Who is he? He's a young footballer. One of the greatest talents. Was supposed to be on a project to be one of the greatest British talents of our generation. So he would have been... He's starting for Man United at like 19, 18 years old. Like 19 years old, which is... You're an amazing player, you know. Maybe the next Rooney, whatever. Yeah. Maybe he was on that trajectory, and he got caught up in a scandal with him and his ex-girlfriend, where she posted clips. She posted a video. Well, first of all, she posted pictures of her, and it was scars and beatings and stuff like that, saying like, this is what he done. And people are saying, well, whatever, that could be. But then she posted the video clip, which is basically, in layman's terms, it looks like he's raping her. Yeah. Kind of. And she's saying kind of no, and he's saying kind of yes. And it is, I think it is him. People are saying, oh, I don't know. But
because it's audio, isn't it?
It's audio. Yeah, right. It's audio. And immediately after that clip got posted, went viral. And then he's been, contract from United's been suspended. Nike contract's been ripped up, and I think he's been arrested. He might have been let out on bail now at the moment. I'm not currently sure, but his career's finished.
You just don't get it, man.
And it's not even. And now I'm not gonna lie. I don't care about him. No, I care about the girl now.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw. This was like when we talk about sexual assault on my other podcast. This is like next level. This is like abuse. Well, it's abuse plus.
The thing is that really bothers me is that she is gonna cop that for the rest of her life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, her coming out was amazing and what she did, because it obviously needed to come to light. But wherever she goes, everyone's gonna, is that the girl that Mason Greenwood? Yeah, that's what she's gonna cop, you know. Yeah. And she's gonna cop positive. She's gonna cop negative. I just hope that she's got a good team around her, you know, to kind of like keep her through this period, because it's going to be a hard period. You're in the limelight now. Yeah. Everyone knows who you are. Everyone knows what's happened. You know, there's no running from it, which is going to be very hard for her to deal with. You know, especially as it's such a private matter. You know.
Nah, it's sad, man. It's so sad, and you just hate seeing this stuff constantly. Yeah,
and that leads me to think as well. Like, obviously it came out, but apparently, right, it had happened before. And United had brushed it under the rug, and maybe paid her off. Right. But that led me to believe, or to think about, how many other cases like this are there that have just been brushed under the rug?
Especially when it's someone of his level who's got the money, the potential, and it's not even the money; it's the potential money he could be making for the club.
Exactly. He makes the clubs millions. He makes Nike millions. He makes everyone
hundreds
money.
Of millions, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they're going, well, we'll pay her, you know, what, and we're not saying this is true. Yeah. But like, of course. And that's always been that's a Harvey Weinstein thing. That's with everything that kind of goes on. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you know who was the Australian of the Year, Grace Tame, last year.
No.
She came out and she was like the first person to actually kind of win this case and go through this whole thing. But it was this huge battle for her. And that's been quite a big thing going on. And it's like, sexual assault's been a very hot topic in Australia lately. It's just, that's been bad.
It's a tough one.
Here's a good question.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction to AFL when you first saw it?
What the fuck is this, man? Yeah, what the fuck is this? No, to be fair, when I first saw it live, I was like, these motherfuckers are fit as fuck. These fuckers can run. Strong, powerful, the landing, the jumping. It is not an easy sport when I watch it, because when you're an athlete, you understand a different sort of aspect. Yes. You know, you understand, okay, fucking hell, like, he's covering that amount of distance. They're running, they're jumping, they're landing, they're turning, they're throwing. And
you know, once they've scored, they've got to retrace.
Then they've got to retrace. It's definitely not an easy sport. You have to be fit as fuck, you know. Yeah. And I give it, any athlete at the highest level, I have to give them props, because I know what it takes. It's not a walk in the park, you know. So it is that. But it's, again, let's see the argument between the AFL and NRL. Like, what is your argument with that? Because it's Sydney is NRL, right?
Which one's better, or which one's?
Which one's better, or which one? Why do people pin them against each other?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not huge in the sports. I played AFL for a season, which was good fun. The fields are huge. The fields are huge. I think, Sydney's definitely NRL all day. Yeah. It's always NRL. And because so many of the teams are in Sydney. Parramatta, so many teams are in Sydney.
Yeah, true.
It's like in New Zealand, it was all Super Rugby because all the teams are in there.
That's like it's like
Crusaders, Highlanders, it's rugby union.
Yeah, rugby
It's very similar to NRL. I don't know if you know the difference.
Yeah, I know there's less players.
I don't know if there's less players.
Is there less players?
In NRL you get 5 tackles. In union you get unlimited. It just keeps going until someone stuffs up. And there's a few, and you don't held. There's no held, so you can just tackle them, and then everyone just jumps on them.
Okay, so a bit more raw.
Yeah, a bit more raw. But AFL's big across the ditch.
Across the
ditch. Like WA, I think they love AFL.
Really? Yeah. So that's what I was finding, because I was thinking, should I do AFL content? But do I get cancelled by my NRL fans? Like, fuck off, to stop doing AFL content. You know what I mean? I might. I'm pretty sure most NRL fans follow. Like, there's no you can't one or the other. I mean, again, I'm not that, because I didn't grow up with it. Yeah, I grew up with Super Rugby. Yeah, I grew up with football as well. So I haven't been super into it. But yeah, what do you think is, I guess, favorite or best NRL team? At the moment, I can't reveal this yet because I'm not sure when this drops. But I will be doing the revealing in the next.
Well, who do you think is going to win the season?
Well,
because you're choosing a team right now.
I'm choosing a team,
right.
But I don't think it's going to be, because obviously Storm won. Did it Storm win last year?
I think so.
Storm won last year.
Well, no, was it Parramatta? I mean Penrith.
No, sorry, Penrith. Penrith won.
Yeah.
But Storm are looking strong. But I'm thinking, maybe what was it? Well, if I say it, then it's going to reveal who I'm.
Don't say it.
Because if I say it, people listen. Oh no,
you can probably say it by the time this episode's out. When are you revealing it?
Bulldogs.
When are you
I'm revealing it. Maybe in like a week or two.
Oh, this will be out in like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're going for Bulldogs?
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
I should be out by then.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. So the thing is, the reason why I'm saying Bulldogs is because it's going to resonate. It resonates with me.
Yeah.
And it resonates with my fan base as well. And it's closer to where I live. So
nice.
That's the reason that I think I'm going to go with them.
And so I've never in my life watched an Australian reality TV show. What's your favorite one?
It's got to be Maths. It has to be Maths.
I watched the first few episodes.
You lose brain cells.
I watched the season with Martha.
Yeah,
I think it was a big one.
Yeah, that was huge.
I watched the first 2 or 3
That was
episodes.
one of the best ones, apparently.
It's just so long. It's like an hour and a half with ads.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, I don't know if I like Love Island more, because Love Island, I've watched the UK ones and I'm just so invested in it.
Yeah.
You know, I really invest in the characters and the people and all of that sort of stuff. So I'd probably say Love Island just because it's a franchise and I've watched all the UK ones. I just watch it religiously. You're people why are you watching Love Island? I love it.
Love it, man.
I love it.
Well, listen, we'll wrap up this episode. Before we finish it up, I always have one final question.
Yes.
Getting a bit more serious, but what's your number one piece of advice to an 18-year-old today? What advice would you give them?
Number one piece of advice to an 18-year-old today: don't get caught up in social media.
Yeah. That
would be my live in the real world as well. You know, don't let what's going on online, because today's world is such an online world, which is ironic that I'm saying this because I'm a social media influencer, but it's
it shows how important it is.
Yeah, don't get caught up in that. Let the real world, let your real world be real. You know, don't let the social media world take over your real world.
Isn't it interesting with what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, how social media is now a thing?
Yeah.
Like, we've never had access to social media for a war, and now you're just seeing clips.
Seeing everything. You can just watch it, and it's just it makes you just feel some type of way, you know? It's like, fuck.
You go from seeing a father say goodbye to a daughter on TikTok, then you swipe it, and it's just a dance.
Yeah,
or a cute puppy.
Yeah,
it's like emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it's like I remember, that's true how you say that, because I watched, don't want to go off on a tangent, but I watched a little clip which was the NATO thing, I had no idea about this. I watched this 2-minute video, NATO, the reason why Russia's gone to war with the Ukraine, and the reason why no one else in the world's gotten involved, and the reason, I was thinking, fuck, I had no idea. And then I scroll past, it's a chick twerking next.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, TikTok. You know what I mean?
Kylie Jenner did a post. She was praying to everyone in the Ukraine. Yeah. And then the next clip is her promoting her brand or something. Yeah,
exactly.
Everyone's just read the room, Kylie.
Yeah, it's
that's her brand.
Yeah.
But anyways, man,
I loved it. It's been a pleasure, man. I haven't. You're the first podcast that I've came on.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't been on any. You've
been offered?
Yeah, I've been offered, but I think it's just, I followed you for ages.
Yeah.
I like your stuff. And I just think what you do is good, man. So I don't care how big I was. I don't care how many followers I. If I had 10K or whatever, I'd always want to come on and have a chat because I feel like what you're doing is good, man. Sick. And educating people, and it's very good for teenagers to have that someone in the creator space that's doing that, and it's not just stuff that we can consume that's mind numbing and you know what I mean. It's actually educational, which is massive.
Appreciate that, man. And it's funny because like most people I have on the podcast have no followers. I think I've almost specialized in getting everyday people on the show.
Yeah,
not that you're not an everyday person.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a benefit for me getting you on because you might share some of the clips and blah blah blah. But most people there's no benefit. I'm just like, I think you'd be a great fit.
Yeah, which is good. Not a lot of people do that.
It limits growth. So that's why I'm kind of like for season 3 this year. I'm like, look, I've done this for 2 years. It's been great, but I'm seeing people get ahead of me because they're bringing on big name people and they're leveraging their brand. And I'm like, I got to start doing that.
No, that's good, man. Hopefully, maybe we'll get you on our podcast one day.
Did you get my roommate on? He's a huge footballer.
Oh,
he grew up in the UK as well. It's a shame he's not here because I think you guys get along. We should go for a kick sometime.
Yeah. Down. Definitely.
Do you know what he done? Just to finish it off. Because we started playing 6-a-side and he hasn't played for years. And we did it super casual, but he gets on the field, second game. He walks off. I'm like, what are you doing, mate? He's like, my legs. He pulled a muscle in his right groin, right quad, and left quad.
Oh my God.
He's been out for like 7 weeks.
That's the worst. Both gone. Warm up of all you got.
He did a warm up. He's just like, bang. I've never blown like so many things at once.
Body was just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, take us for a warm up. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, man. Dude. No, it's been great. But thanks for coming on. If anyone wants to get in contact with you, follow you online, where's the best place to go?
I'd say obviously TikTok. Trying to grow the Instagram a bit more, so I'd appreciate the followers on the Instagram. That's obviously the hardest one to grow. But Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, everything. Or OlanTekkers, you can find me on there. So.
And as usual, guys, message me, message Olan. I love getting messages. What was your biggest takeaway? What did you enjoy? Otherwise, thanks for coming on the show.
See you guys soon.